So this is an interesting question. I'm not sure what is exactly being asked because we do already, quite a bit of this already. Yeah.
Yeah, I stuck it in there just for that reason.
Yeah, but someone says, when will 034 start manufacturing their own products? So 034 Motorsport, when we started early on, we did begin releasing products, almost exclusively products that we made here, especially any hardware. One of our first products was a standalone ECU, and I'm not very good at soldering printed circuit boards, 3-layer thick.
Generally done in the PCB house.
Yeah, but a lot of our early products, we bought one of the first investments I made is we bought a CNC machine, a Haas, and Nate learned how to program it, and we within months hired and brought on a CNC operator. And at one point, we had 5 Haas CNC machines here running.
Yeah, some big auto feeding lathe stuff, so various sized 3-axis and 4-axis mills.
Yeah, and the goal was not only to make our own products, but to have our products made here by us, something that we could supervise and oversee. I could walk out there throughout the day and pick up the parts as they were coming off the machine, and I could give feedback in real time. And that was something that was very important to me at the time, worked for us when we were probably, less than 20 employees and doing that level of business. But as we grew kind of in the early 2010s, coming out of the Great Recession, we saw really, really strong growth. The size of our company doubled between 2008 and 2012, our revenue. And so we had this huge pain point that we had 5 CNC machines. I was thinking about buying more. We were running like 2 shifts.
Yeah, we had multiple shifts.
7 days a week.
Yeah, just people cutting and feeding them.
And we just couldn't ever keep anything in stock. And it was very painful. And so at that point, we started looking for an external CNC shop to start helping us. And we're here in Silicon Valley, where it's very expensive. There was actually a CNC shop where I'm pointing right across the parking lot. And he was quoting us, he was like doing machining for like Cisco and Google and, Moffett, NASA, stuff like that. And so, our car parts, he was quoting 5-10 times the cost that we were.
Like retail.
Yeah, that we could even sell it for. And so we started looking for contract CNC manufacturers who could help with some of that machining load. And we began what's talked about in business as outsourcing our manufacturing. We just couldn't keep up with it here in-house. And I'll be honest, I'm not a manufacturing expert. Like I don't want to run a CNC shop. I don't want to run 3 shifts of CNC machines and machinists, 24 hours a day. Nate's not very good at it either. Could we do it? Yeah. Could we do a good job? Sure. But then we wouldn't be doing all the things that we're really, really good at that not a lot of people are good at. Nate's one of a handful of people on Earth who can calibrate and reverse engineer these factory ECUs. I'm very good at marketing and business development and growing and managing this business. So if Nate and I are out there messing with CNC machines, we're not doing the things that we're good at. And so in 2018, I ran an analysis. What would it take at that point? We had basically outsourced all of our CNC machining, and I think we had 2 CNC machines left, which we got rid of in 2019.
Well, we didn't even get rid of them. We moved them to a different
facility.
facility.
We moved them to MP, but we don't use them anymore.
We don't use them in-house.
We got rid of them. And so I ran an analysis that from 2012 to 2019, when we basically outsourced all of our CNC machining, that in order for us to CNC machine our own parts in-house. So this entire building, which is it's well over 10,000 square feet, this entire footprint would have to be filled with CNC machines running 3 shifts a day, 7 days a week, and we still wouldn't even have enough capacity for the amount of business we were doing. And that means no more accounting office, no more sales and marketing office, no more engineering offices. No, I don't have an office anymore. Nate's calibration office with the calibrators is gone. There's nowhere for any employees in the company to sit. It's just CNC machines from wall to wall. And so I wanted to tell this story because I think there's a kind of a misunderstanding of like, oh, it's just make it yourself, just make it in the US. It's so easy. Well, it's not. It's virtually impossible to grow and support this type of business and do it all in house. I can point to a handful of companies that do. I believe WeatherTech brags and takes brag,
okay.
as far as I know. But I have seen WeatherTech's facility, and they have like it's like a Costco, maybe two Costco,
bigger than a Costco. Yeah, it's
filled with Haas CNC machines. I mean, they may have 500 or 1,000 CNC machines. I mean, it's a substantial effort. They've made it work. Good for them. It's one of the most successful companies in the United States.
Yeah.
You know, sure. Could you point to them and say they did it? Yeah, but that doesn't mean everyone else can or should.
And it's a very different market.
Yeah.
It's a commodity market. It's a product they make.
They're a household name now. Yeah. Every car in the U.S. can buy their floor mats.
Yeah.
You know, we're in a niche market selling, performance parts. So, anyways, I've opened up a little bit here. Please don't crucify me. Please try not to use this against us. Yeah. But I thought it was an interesting question.
Yeah.
And you know, I want to finish by saying what 034 brings to the table, the benefit that we offer you as the customer is not that we make everything here. We do make a lot of things. We have a whole manufacturing department out here making things all day long. But what we bring to the table is our expertise and intimate knowledge of Volkswagen, Audi, and BMW vehicles, as well as our engineering, our product development, our R&D, our testing, our validation of these products. And then we have very refined and intense QC programs here that ensure that when we design something to be a certain way, anybody who makes it has to deliver a part that meets rigid and relatively tight specifications. So it doesn't matter whether it was made here or in China or in Hungary or in Brazil or India or Australia or wherever, or on the Farallon Islands, near Antarctica. Yeah. It doesn't matter where it's made. It could be from 3 different places, and you would not be able to tell the difference because down to the fit and finish, the surface smoothness all match and are all to tolerance and specification. So what we bring to the table is our expertise and our sense of quality and the curation of your driving experience when you use these products.
Yeah, I mean, we didn't just kind of wing it either with the manufacturing stuff. We had written all of our own in-house management software, tracking systems, reportings, backends, and machining queues and whatnot. And like we were giving it as solid of an effort as we could for the footprint that we have here. But it was just unsustainable for the amount of growth we needed. And this is like, you can look at any manufacturer I think in the world at this point and say, do you make everything in house? And it's going to be a really small list that you'll come up with.
Yeah, that
is able to say like they source A to Z.
Well, case in point, Audi makes very little of their own cars.
Right.
I think they probably stamp the body panels and stuff like that, but like the mounts and the engine and a lot of the stuff is not made by them, and they bring in from an outside.
That was a huge thing when the tariffs hit. Was like it's going to help the local economy stuff. Well, you take out like the most American thing, like a Ford F-150, and it's got parts from 27 different countries.
Yeah.
that go into the truck that's made in America. Yeah. I mean, it's one of those things. It's a world market, a world,
It is. It's a global.
there's global resources
Global
that everybody's
economy,
trying to optimize and use.
So you probably won't hear any of our other competitors have conversations like this with you. I just like to open up, and so the answer is we're not going to bring back more manufacturing here. It's just not possible. We would have to radically change this company, and we would probably go out of business almost certainly if we tried to make everything here and keep the company how it is now. So if we ever got back to making our own products, we would have to probably focus on like 10 or 20 products, discontinue everything else. Over 1,000 products we would have to discontinue. And this would just kind of become like a little 5 to 10 employee company with just like a little boutique business.